哎呦，我啥该？我也看吧，我也看爸爸。多谢。ကဲအမျိုးနေပါရှင်းလေးရောက်လို့လာအာရနေမျိုးလေးရိုင်းလိုက်တာဆောင်းနေပါရှင်းလေးရောက်ရှိလို့လာပြီဆိုတာလားတော့ချေရတယ်ကဲဟာပြီစားလို့လာပြီရှော့ရင်းနေတာကျေပြန်သိတယ်ငါးတန်တိုးနေကဲ
神々よご覧ください
あဂျပန်တိုင်းလား
オンパロスは勝利を収め再造期が間もなく訪れますしかし本当にそうでしょうか
最近エルシオンの景色が
まぶ
たの裏を見るんだ
最後の一人になったとしても再創生の偉業を成し遂げてください
新世界は必ず訪れる黎明を灯す
ရှုပ်လို့မရဘူးနော်ဟုတ်တယ်ဟောကြောက်တော့ဟာပန်နာကိုနီကဘယ်ပြန်ပါလားပဲဟုတ်တယ်ပန်နာကိုနီပါဝိတ်ပြီနာတယ်တော့ညီဟာ
少し手応えがあると思ったのね
ဒီကောင်နဲ့ပန်နာကိုနီနဲ့ရောက်လာ
気は熟した逃げ場はない
あらゆる邪悪を打ち滅ぼせセイバー
汝は開白の黎明が訪れるまで灼熱の太陽を背負い続ける
死者を花から呼び出して殺し合わせて勝者が全てを手に入れる
行かなくちゃいけない背負わないといけないんだ
キノコニーの伝説はあれど英雄はいないと
お任せを
私見ました壊滅これにて完成宝石の余震をもって来世に暁を
あOh my god Reading Chicago Oh yeah Nah No way这个自己是玩的，哎呀，是玩玩满呗。ဒါအိမ်မထည့်ရလိုက်ဆောက်ကတလားငါသားတော့ဘလို့ကြိုက်ရမလဲငါတို့ဝက်စားရတော့အဲ့နာဟယ်လိုဒီဥစားframe rate ပါအော်တိုကျော်သွားတာ final ကြီးကိုမြင်လိုက်ရဟုတ်တယ်အနာရှာကိုရက်
Hey Mr. Albert
Hello
ဒီမှာရောက်အင်္ဂလိပ်တန်
Albert
and whether or not you have a day-night cycle good morning good afternoon and good evening welcome to the version 3.4 for the sun is set to die special program I'm your most beloved host Albert.
ဘယ်လိုကင်မရာဆော့
Rebooting
ခင်
really does solve all problems. Now we can introduce ourselves. Hi, everyone. I'm Finan. I'm so happy to be on the special program.
ဘယ်ဖြစ်လား
Hello, everyone. I'm Anaxagoras.
Nice to see all of you again. Did you miss me?
Oh, of course we missed you. Well, dear guests, welcome to the show.
Ah,
I've been
Lee,
looking
ah, pernah
forward
tengok
to
yang
this
apa?
special program more than anything else. The way the story in the last version left off had my
တခြား
heart
သိသိတော့
racing.
ဝင်ရတယ်ဒီဟာတစ်ခုပြင်ဖို့
The burning sky
ဒါရတယ်ခင်
and the fall of dawn. Akuma was the last place under Kefali's protection, but now it has also sunk into Evernight.
All of our Chrysosair companions did everything in their power to buy precious time for the Trailblazer and Finan, so they could return the very last core flame to the vortex of Genesis.
We already
yeah,
found
what about-
out the truth. So what do a few sacrifices matter? Every Chrysos heir was prepared for this. You just need to boldly take that last
Gotcha.
step toward the Era Nova.
But in the trailer just now, it seems like Finan is gonna go through a lot. I saw a few scenes that looked like flashbacks, and I think I even saw a different form of him.
The truth of Amphoris is about to reveal itself. I assume everyone can already tell that all that's happened in Amphoris is not as simple as it seems.
Indeed. For example, when we went to fight Aquila, we noticed that the Eye of Twilight seemed unusually high-tech.
And when the
ခု
dawn
န
device
ငါ
went
တိုးဖြုတ်
out,
လိုက်တာနဲ့တူ
many of the structures in Akuma and the vortex of Genesis started showing strange
ပြင်က
textures.
ဒေးတော့လေးပြန်လောက်အောင်
It was like the whole world was peeling off.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we take a look back at our whole journey so far in Amphoris and lay out our suspicions and clues we have. First, at the end of the 3.3 story, the geniuses reveal that the source of Amphoris' tragedy is an Emperor's scepter that survived to this day.
It has something to do with that erudition god beyond the sky, doesn't it? Even though I don't quite understand these principles, this
Vamos a
breeding
invitar.
ground, which
Una
switched
tanto
from
rollo.
following the path of erudition to the path of destruction, must be hiding secrets beyond Era Nova.
In addition, that Tin Man Lygist is also pretty suspicious. He and Finan had a pretty significant conversation in the vortex of Genesis.
Actually, I was already suspicious of him when he said he could fix the express and send the Trailblazers back home. Well, the mask is coming off now.
Based on my interactions with him, Lygus doesn't seem to have any desire to oppose the Chrysos heirs. Rather, he only wishes to quietly observe everything as it unfolds.
Could it be that everything that's happened so far is exactly what he wanted to see? That title, Theoros, does mean spectator. If we combine this information with what we know about the relationship between the scepter and paths, maybe Amphoreus is being used as a chessboard by people from beyond this world, and Lygus is one of them.
Oh, you're exactly right. If the situation in the cosmos is like a game of chess, then Amphoris is a trap to set up the checkmate. But who knows? Maybe the chess pieces themselves can overturn the board. The hero's Era Nova could affect the worlds beyond the sky, and the Trailblazers' choices may also determine the future.
ခုနတွေ့လိုက်တာပနကွန်နီဟာနဲ့ဒီ Amphobia ဟာ
Before the
စနေ
Era
မှာ
Nova actually arrives, there's no way to tell what it will bring. The Trailblazers have already done so much for Amphoreus. I don't want them to have to experience the unknown of Era Nova.
As someone from beyond the sky, they already risked a lot by taking on a demigod's divine authority. If something were to happen in the Era Nova...
No, we can't let them stay. They have to listen to Finan and go home.
Well said. The Trailblazers won't betray the sincerity you've shown them. However, their fate will still be tied to that of Amphoreus. They'll be returning to the battlefield with a very important mission.
On the other hand, I suspect many of our audience members, like me, have some questions about Finan. That Finan we saw in the Vortex of Genesis at the end of the 3.3 story? Why was his name hidden?
Well, maybe that Finan isn't the one we're all familiar with.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. but I'll leave the specific details for everyone to find out themselves in the game in version 3.4. I've actually got some other
Nothing you want to
information to reveal to you.
What kind of information?
Following the story's progress as I've written, we'll receive a big update in this version. In these records that we've kept, you will be able to catch a glimpse of Amphorius' true nature.
Before, As I've Written was like a storybook, keeping record of our friends' stories. Now, even its appearance has changed. It feels like something big is about to happen.
It looks like it's turned into some kind of database.
You can use this system to unlock even more of Amphorius' secrets.
Indeed.
That's right.
True.
Aside from the major updates to As I've Written, the long-awaited skip
Really,
dialogue
I know.
feature, which was previously announced, is finally going live
Why
in
not, why
version
do you
3.4. Story dialogue can now be skipped by section, with plot summaries and the main characters that appeared in each section displayed along the way. Now you can choose the pace of storytelling based on your own preferences. In version 3.6, there'll also be a story recap function. Stay tuned! But of course, as we move into version 3.4, we shall take the final step of the prophecy together and witness the truth and the fate of this world. And the
Okay,
myriad
Lava,
celestial
welcome.
that Mr. Shaoji hinted at in the version 3.2 preview is finally going live soon.
Oh, you mean what's happening beyond the sky? Is
This
it
version
also
EU, man.
related to Amphorius and Era Nova?
We'll have to keep it a secret for now. Meanwhile, we'll be releasing an animated short. This animated short contains a very important part of the story in version 3.4. Can't spill too much here, but I can give you a little teaser. This short will come with its own original theme song. So don't miss it.
Awesome.
Nice.
I can't wait to dive into the new story already.
Absolutely.
Why don't we turn our attention to our good friend Viden and take a look at his story?
Who the
together.
hell is that? Okay, final. Twitter ပဲလွတ်သွားမှာလား yes Twitter ပဲလွတ်သွားတန်းတဲ့ဟာတွေကတူတူအကြောင်းနည်းနည်းပြောနေဟုတ်တယ်ဟုတ်အဲ့စကေးသုံးတာ laptop ပေါက်ထောင်မလားအောင်မရဒီနားမှာ Sandy
What in the world happened to Finan to make him change this much?
This is nothing like the warm, sunny person we all know. Now he seems strange and formidable.
Oh, could you elaborate?
I remember when our buddy first showed up in Amphorius. Finan was one of the first Chrysosairs to genuinely welcome them. And when danger came knocking, he always had our backs.
But behind that kindness and reliability, Finan carries the expectations of many. He is the deliverer chosen by the prophecy, and Aglaya's hand-picked successor of the Flame Chase journey. Aglaya even used her own death to set him up for success by making the Council of Elders the focus of criticism, and allowing Finan to step up and rally the people.
Yeah, all of us have high hopes for him. Some even call him the deliverer of Amphorius.
အဲ့ရေးမကြည့်ဘူးဖုန်းမှာဆော့တာအဲ့ဒီဟိုပါလေ
showed her face
ဟို
used
အောက်က
to
ကလေး
call
ပြစ်
him
ကျဲကျဲလိုက်
Little
ရောဂိမ်းနဲ့ထွက်သွားရတော့ပါ
It's as if everyone just assumes that he'll be a savior.
Now I'm curious. What was Finan like before he joined the Flame Chase journey? Was he one of those perfect kids everyone got compared to?
Before the Flame Chase journey, guess we've got to go back to my hometown, Ides Elysiae. It was a small, remote
ဒါသူ့
village.
ဖုန်းတော့
Nothing flashy,
သူ့မြို့ပဲ
far away from the chaos.
Ooh, sounds like a real peaceful place.
မသိရင်ဒီရွေကြနေရပဲ
It was. And even though the village was small, everyone got along really well. There were also beautiful rivers and mountains, and even a
ငါးမတော့
forest.
လည်းဖြစ်ပြီးပြီ
That
ဟုတ်ပါ
forest was home to all kinds of little fairies. When I was little, I'd go exploring the woods and visit those cute fairies. When I wasn't exploring, I'd go play with my friends
ဒီ
by
ဝင်
the
နေစု
sea.
မလို့ပေါင်းလိုက်ဖိုက်ရ
We
ခဏ
pretended to be
သိနေ
heroes
တယ်
from the old stories and practiced our swordsmanship. When we got tired, we went to lie down in the wheat fields until we got called home for dinner.
No strife, no invaders, or any of that deliverance crisis stuff? Seems like a complete paradise.
The wheat fields look gorgeous too. Lying there surrounded by golden waves of wheat, with the breeze carrying that sweet malted scent.
မြေပုံကတော့တော်
just
တော်မိုက်တ
the
ယ်သဘောကျ
thought of
ပါ
it
ဘူး
is enough to get me excited.
အေးစစ်စစ်ဖြစ်တယ်ဆိုတဲ့ခံစားချက်မျိုးရ
You won't have to
Hello,
imagine
hi,
it
man.
all. In version 3.4, we get to explore ID's Elysiae alongside the Trailblazer. Learn about Finan's past, how he became a warrior, joined the flame chase, and grew into the person he is today.
Can't wait!
From a carefree little kid to the deliverer carrying everyone's hopes. You've really come a long way.
These days, Finan just gives off this heaviness. Like he'd still press on no matter how exhausted, just to live up to everyone's expectations.
Amphorus needed a hero, so he became one. The Chrysos heirs needed hope and a leader, so that's who he became. Looking back at the main art for this version, even though Finan's face is still the same, his whole vibe has shifted. His gaze is now sharp and commanding, completely different from before. Now we're just one step away from the era Nova that the prophecy foretold. The deepest
ကို
truths
လိုက်
of
ကိုပြန်ကြည့်ရ
Amphorus
ဘေးနာမင်း
are
ဆို
about to
မ
come
မြင်
to
အောင်
light.
ကြည့်
What trials lie ahead, and what choices will Finan make?
A hero's journey is never easy. But if the will in your heart is strong enough, no fire can burn you out. If anything, every trial is just a forge for an even brighter soul. I am more than ready.
Well said. Then let's let everyone experience it all themselves in version 3.4. Now let's take a look at how Finan performs in battle.
You got it. I'll first show up in the familiar
love.
form everyone knows. When using my skill, I'll deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. The use of my skill also grants me core flames. Once I've collected enough of them, I can activate my ultimate.
Wait, so core flames only come from using your skill?
Not at all. Finan can also gain
How
core
dare,
flames
how
when
dare.
he's
I
selected
saw him
as
at
a
the
target
piano.
by a teammate or enemy ability. If he is the target of a teammate's ability, Finan will deal even more damage.
When I use my ultimate, I'll create a territory and transform.
After transforming, Finan powers up massively. Teammates temporarily retreat and can't take action, while he faces the enemy head-on with
တိုက်
newfound
ရဆန်တီယို
strength.
ဘရညာဟောတယ်
All
ထဲ
alone?
ထဲဆောပြီးဆန်
That
တီယာ
sounds
ဟုတ်တာ
way too risky.
No worries. All the talents and buffs from Finan's teammates still stay active to provide him with much-needed support.
Exactly. After
Tapi
using
gua
the
tunggu
core
sih.
flames to transform, I have access to the powers of 3 kinds of titans: creation, calamity, and foundation, each with a brand new ability.
Care to elaborate on that?
Tapping into the power of the creation titans, I can deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. Calling upon the power of the calamity titans,
Calamity,
I'll enter
ah.
a special state called Soul Scorch. In this state, I'll force all enemies to immediately take action, during which I receive reduced damage, and each hit I take builds up the Soul Scorch stack. Once all enemies have taken action, I retaliate, dealing damage to all enemies and then unleashing multiple instances of damage on one random enemy.
Heads up. The more soul scorch stacks he's got,
မြန်မြန်ဒီတောင်းလာတဲ့ state မှာမြန်မြန်ချခံရတယ်မြန်မြန်ကောင်းလာ
Using
တိုင်း
these
များ
two
လေပဲ
abilities also grants me an exclusive charge called Scourge, which fuels my third ability. With the power of the Foundation Titans, I dispel all debuffs on myself.
အာရိုး
Then
27ပဲ
use
ရှိရ
Scourge charge to deal
ရေ
bounce
တို့
damage.
စတက်များတယ်
If
ဆို
I've
လို့ရှိရ
maxed
င်
out the consumable
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ကြီး
Scourge
ဖြစ်ကြ
charge, I also slam all enemies with extra damage.
once all his actions have been
Keep
used
your
up,
head on.
Finan will unleash one final blow, hitting all enemies before removing the territory. Finan's technique is pretty unique too. Upon casting it,
Beginning of the
Finan
end.
instantly
Ah,
strikes
name
all
jabu
enemies
dulu.
in a certain radius. If they're normal enemies, they're immediately wiped out without even
Xong tay
triggering
asa.
a battle.
Wait, all enemies? That's nuts!
Of course, power comes with a cost. This technique consumes 2 technique points.
If the technique misses, it won't cost any points.
တက်ကနစ်ပွင့်8ခုကြီးရ
On the team, the technique
နှစ်ခု
point
ကုန်
cap goes up by 3.
When I use my technique to enter combat, I'll also regenerate energy for my teammates. In addition, at the start of each wave, I'll deal damage to all enemies and gain Scourge.
Oh, I see.
All right. Now that we've wrapped up Fighting's combat abilities, it's time to bring you some updates on a few familiar faces. In version 3.4, Silver Wolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jingliu
Oh, damn.
all
Perfect
getting
character.
some serious enhancements.
Let's go!
တစ်ဖက်ကရရလာပြီ
Oh, Mr. Albert, please do tell us what's changing.
Let's start with Silver Wolf. After the optimizations, her ultimate now lowers the defense of all enemies instead of just one.
Oh, so it's AoE now, not single target.
Exactly. Meanwhile, she'll prioritize adding a weakness that matches the type of the first character in your lineup. On top of that, Silver Wolf will regenerate extra energy at the start of combat and the beginning of each turn.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier to apply the weakness we actually want.
Next up, Kafka.
Kafka.
After the buffs, Kafka's skill will trigger more DOT on enemies. And whenever a teammate hits an enemy target with any kind of attack, Kafka will launch a follow-up attack. After unlocking certain traces, the follow-up attack can also trigger extra DOT on the enemy. And using her ultimate recovers the number of times the follow-up attack can be triggered.
So basically, Kafka's got more frequent follow-up attacks, better efficiency applying debuffs, and an overall boost to DOT output.
Yeah, for sure.
And now for Blade. After the
okay.
update, he will deal damage to enemies based on his max HP. When Blade enters the Hellscape state, he is more likely to be attacked, and his follow-up attacks will regenerate extra energy.
Sounds like Blade can trigger more follow-ups and use his ultimate more often, meaning his total damage output's gonna spike.
ဟုတ်တယ်
Good observation. A change
Thank
will
you,
happen to
thank you,
Jingliu as
Anna.
well. Now she'll deal
Ah,
damage to
thank you,
enemies based on her max HP.
ဒီမစ်ဆန်
Each
လေးစစ်မပြန်
time
လာ
a
တော့
teammate loses HP, Jingliu stacks extra crit damage. After she enters the spectral transmigration state, she'll also gain a stack of syzygy. That means the spectral transmigration state lasts longer, and her overall damage output climbs even higher accordingly.
Our old friends sure are getting some solid upgrades. But with all these ability reworks, won't their Eidolons be affected?
Oh, don't worry, Professor Anaxa. Some of our old friends' Eidolons will be tweaked to better match the revamped kits, making sure everything stays in sync.
But what if someone wants to stick with their previous version of their abilities?
That won't be a problem. You can switch
Oh,
between
that's
our
so
friends'
low,
ability modes freely.
ဒါပေမဲ့
So choose
မ
whichever
ဘက်ခိုင်း
version
ဟာတော့ဘယ်သူမှမသုံးတော့ပါဘူး
For more details, be sure to keep an eye out for a
ဘက်ခိုင်းဘာရှင်မသုံးဘူး right
Sounds good.
Aside from the ability reworks, one more old friend of ours is getting something new this time around.
Oh, who is it?
In version 3.4,
Hey, Koda.
Firefly's brand new outfit,
Oh, no.
Spring Missive, is making its debut.
Ah,
A new
look
outfit.
at that.
ဒီဟုတ်တယ်မ
Let's
အောက်ဖစ်ကြည့်
take
တာ
a look at the video clip first.
ဘာပဲစကခံရမယ်အေးတော့ဆောက်တာပြောင်းတယ်အေးတော့အဲ့ပြောရတယ်ဟိုမကြမ်းတော့လို့ဗတ်ပေးလိုက်တာဗတ်ပေးရဟာပဲသုံးပါ right အာမအဲ့တိတ်မ
With her
ပြောင်းသွား
school
ဘူး
uniform on, Firefly looks more youthful than ever. And that Firefly
Hey, hey, hey,
shirt
Trina,
with
မ
her
ဆောင်းဝိုင်းနဲ့မ
double
ဆောင်းဝိုင်းနဲ့
chest.
ဘာလဲ
You can tell she put a lot of thought into picking
တွေ့
it
ခါကြည့်ရင်
out.
ဆိုပြီးတော့
Maybe she even asked for fashion advice from her fellow
တော်တော်ချစ်စရာ
stone
လေးပေါ့
hunters.
ဒါပေမဲ့လူမရှိဘူး
Well, Miss Kafka does have an eye for style. They must have talked a lot about it behind the scenes.
Even her mech's had a makeover. You think she spruces it up during downtime to match her outfit changes?
Oh, totally possible. If I had a mech, I'd also
ပထမ
probably
ဆုံး
coordinate it with my
စ
outfit.
ကင်လို့ပြော
New
အပထမစကင်
themes,
တော့
new
မာ7
colors.
ဟာတော့ရှိတယ်မာ7
The
က
whole look has to be
preservation ဆိုဘူးမှသတိမ
consistent.
ထားမိကြဘူးမာ7ရှိတယ်ဟန်ဟာရှိ
You'll
တ
be
ယ်
able to grab Firefly's new look from the contract shop using your Nyric shards. And
ဒါပေမဲ့ဟန်ဟာ
again,
စကင်
stay
လို့မ
tuned
ဟုတ်
for
ပဲ
further
နဲ့လူလိုက်ကြီး
details
ပြောင်း
and
သွားတယ်
future
ပတ်ပြောင်းသွား
official
တယ်
announcements.
မမီတော့
Next, let's take a look at this
Oh,
version's
okay.
banners. And version 3.4's first
And
half
wait,
warp
though,
event,
but-
Trailblazers
and
can
I remember the
acquire the
Fireline
limited
did,
5-star character Finan. And
Yeah,
the
Final
limited
banner.
5-star light cone, thus burns the dawn, will have a boosted drop rate. Also, a brand new 4-star light cone
also like
for the
that.
Path of Remembrance.
Keep our
The
freedom. What should we
story's next
do?
page
He's
is
again.
being added to the first
Fireline
half
သူကနေ
page.
သူဆော့လို့ရပါသေး
At the same time,
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
also kick
3B.
off a special warp event.
3B Sunday
Limited 5-star
Spark
characters.
ဟာယာ
Treeby, Sunday, and Sparkle are coming back.
ဟာယာ
Plus,
ဟာယာယာ
5-star light cones, if time were a flower, a grounded ascent, and
Ay,
early
ay, ay.
escapade
Apa,
will
apa.
return as well. In the second half of version
Hey, hey, hey.
3.4, we've got another round of
အ
special
ဝိုင်းနဲ့ကွာ
events.
ဒီပဲ
Limited 5-star
Streamပြီးရဒီ mute လိုက်
characters,
အောင်
Firefly, Jingliu, and Blade will be back
Ah,
along
boy.
with the limited 5-star
ကွာ
light
ပြီးရှုပ်ကုန်
cones.
ပြီ
Whereabouts your dreams rest, I shall
မှီလို့ရှင်တော့
be
Blade 1 သွားနှိုက်
and
အောင်ကွာ
the unreachable side.
Two of our newly buffed old friends are making a comeback in this version. What about Kafka and Silverwolf?
Here's a little sneak peek. Limited 5-star characters, Kafka and Silver Wolf, will be back in version 3.5. And the limited 5-star
Oh.
light cones, patience is all you need, and incessant rain.
ကဖကာနဲ့
rerun
စီ
as
တော့
well.
3.5 မှာ
Nice.
Also, 8 new 4-star light cones will be added to the
Running
nameless
low.
honor rewards in
Where bro
version
your whole left.
3.4.
Ah,
But
I
it was
see
here
quite a few
hiding.
familiar faces on the light cones. There are a few mini versions of Chrysos heirs.
Looks like Finan really does enjoy spending his days in the wheat fields.
Nature's mattress. Can't beat that level of comfort.
For sure.
All right, let's take a quick break. There's still more version 3.4 content coming your way.
Damn. Tribby ရင်ပူရမှာ Tribby ပြီးရင် final ပြီးရင် final like go ပြီးရင်ပို့သွားလို့ရှိရင် Tribby like ကိုတဖန်ပြန်ပူ Oh my god လက်ထက်ပူဘယ်လောက်ရှိပူ90လက်ထဲမှာတပီဒေတာရှိတယ်ပီဟိုကပီတင်နေဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လက်ထဲမှာတပီဒေတာရှိတယ်တော့ဟိုဘက်ရောက်ရင်အပီဒေတာအကောင်တော့ရလာမှာဘာလဲလိုက်ကုန်းလို့လားအေးရှိရင်ပူကောင်းတယ်လိုလားဆိုရင် तू က alternative ဟာရှိရကွာဟိုကထားပါတော့အေး Ada story ဟာတွေပါရှိရဟိုကွာတာတော့ကွာပြီမဲ့သိရမလားအဲ့လိုမျိုးဟိုရုပ်ပြက်စင်းပြက်ကြီးကွာတာမျိုးတော့မဟုတ်ဘူးအဲ့လိုဆိုဟိုတချို့ကောင်တွေကကွာလိုက်ကုန်းမဖြစ်မနေတောင်းတာရှိရကွာ
Welcome back.
ဧကလယာ
Let's take a
တို့
look at the
ဟိုတို့
events
rapper တို့ကွာ
this version.
ဧကလယာကွာ base speed
Piece
ပေး
of
ရလို
good
က်ကုန်းပါ
news
ဆိုတော့
comes from Pentagon
base
at
speed
the other end of the
များလို့ရှိရင်သူ့ကိုယ်သူပြန်အတက်များများဘတ်တာလို့ပါလို့ရှိရပါတဲ့လားအဲ့လိုမျိုးရှိတယ် rapper လိုက်ကုန်းဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်း energy ပေးတာကွာဟိုဗတဲ့ဝင်တာနဲ့ဆိုတော့ e-skin တစ်ခါသုံးပြရတယ် edit ဖွင့်လို့ရတယ်ကွာဟိုလိုက်ကုန်းမရှိလို့ရှိရင် e-skin နှစ်ခါလောက်မှ edit ဖွင့်လို့ရတယ်အဲ့လိုမျိုးကွာမဖြစ်မနေလိုတဲ့ဥစ္စာရှိရတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဒီလိုကောင်မျိုး fire line မလို့ 3B ရော 3B မလို့
And the first step to starting that
TVM
grand
window.
venture will be to open up the original shop arcade on the Trailblazers Radiant Feldspar.
စပူ
There
စပူ
needs
ရ
to
တော့
be
များသောအား
some
ဖြင့်
new
လိုက်ကုန်းမ
game
လို့ကြ
modes
တာ
for the
များတယ်
game
ဒါ
to
ပေမဲ့
make
ရှိ
a
ရင်
name for itself, right?
Of course.
diamond buff တို့မဟုတ်
This
tin
time,
rotation
players
စ
will
မှု
take
ပါ
turns
အဲ့လိုမျိုး
acting
ပဲ
on
လာ
the
ကြ
same
များ
field, and every player
Random,
has a
like,
set
yes.
number of moves. You can eliminate 4 or more fruits to form bombs and
ဟုတ်တယ်
obtain
ဟုတ်တယ်
extra
Candy
moves.
Crush ပြန်လာပြီ
You can also get extra
Pivi bala,
moves when you
pivi bala,
swap two
khojeng
super
lo.
bombs to trigger a combo elimination.
Oh no!
Pivi bala,
I
pivi
see
bala, khojeng lo.
obstacles popping up on the field. How are we supposed to deal with those?
Not to worry. In this version of the Origami Bird Clash, there will be lots of new items that
သွား
can
စေးက
help
န်း
you
သွားရ
in
င်ကောင်း
battle.
လားမသိဘူးရအောင်
For
သွားခေါင်း
example,
ပေါက်ဖြစ်နေတာ
Shattering
စားသမျှ
Hammer
အဲ့ရ
can
င်ညက်
eliminate any individual fruit or obstacle. Spicy Bomb can turn a fruit into a bomb, and Reset Cube can reset all fruits on the field. Leveling up items will also make them more powerful.
ဟော GI နဲ့ဖြစ်
As
သွား
long as
ပြီ
you pick the right item at the right time, you can turn the tide and deliver a powerful blow to your opponent.
GI တွေနဲ့ဖြစ်သွားပြီအဲ့လိုမျိုးစပယ်မှု
Plenty of
တော့
familiar faces among our opponents this time.
That's right. Trailblazers can still battle against many old friends in this event. In addition to participating in story challenges, Trailblazers can also do open challenges with
ဟော
friends from
PVP ရမှာ
across the universe.
ကြိတ်လို့ရ
This
ပြီ
multiplayer mode won't end with version 3.4.
ကြိတ်လို့ရပြီလေ
Origami Bird Class will replace the Seal Slammers multiplayer mode and become the new long-term co-op game mode.
ဟောကိုယ့် game
We're
အနေနဲ့
done
ထည့်ပြီးပါ
slamming seals. Now it's time for slamming paper birds.
All right, let us continue with more version content. Our old friend Gift of
Bamboo.
Odyssey returns as usual in version 3.4.
Nice.
The planar fissure and realm of the strange events will also return. Complete the challenges to get double rewards.
Yup. In version 3.4, Stagnant Shadow, Shape of Cinders, will also come online. And you can obtain the Ascension material, Charred Bud of Twilight, for wind characters upon completing the challenge.
At the same time,
Ah,
the
sorry,
planar
no.
ornaments, Arcadia of Woven Dreams, and Revelry by the Sea
Don't
will
be being like
also
that,
come
yeah.
online.
ဘာလို့ဝဲဟာပြော
Trailblazers
ပါ
can obtain them in the Divergent universe.
Ah, why did my seat collapse?
In addition, I'd like to share with you some information about a few events outside the game. First, the annual Hoyo Fest Off-White exhibition will begin in July. This year's event venues have been completely upgraded, and the events will be held in core cities in 6 Southeast Asian countries.
That's right. We've also prepared a lot of event missions and new merchandise. Please follow our official channels for details about the events and tickets.
မာဂျင်လိုက်အတက်မာဂျင်လိုက်ထပ်လို့မယ်ဆို collaboration တွေလောက်ရှိ
Honkai
လောက်ပဲ
Star Rail will be joining Anime Expo this July. Come visit the Star Rail booth and claim free limited
အာ
gifts.
လော့ဆိုင်ကြပါ
A special panel for Honkai Star Rail will also be held at Anime Expo, featuring several
final
special
video လည်းပါပဲ
guests.
Please keep an eye out for more info and official announcements.
တရားပန်းအောင်ပြောသေး
See
ဆို
you
တော့
at Anime
တကယ်
Expo.
တကယ် collaboration တွေအများကြီး limit တယ်ပဲလေ
Let me see. We're almost out of time. We'll move it on to our next show in just a sec.
You seem mighty busy, Owlbert.
Well, I
collaboration
have
တွေ
a
limited တွေ
professional
ပြန်လာတာ
signal.
ခက်ရှာ
What's going on?
Oh, goodness, Albert.
no.
Hey, what's going on? It's not my time yet.
Well, yeah, well,
Not your world as the concept of a holy grail. Welcome to the live stage of the Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Work.
ဟုတ်တယ်
Collab
Fate Stay Night
Special Program.
limited
Ah,
Hey, what?
long time no see, everyone. I'm aventurine from the Interastral Peace Corporation.
Howdy, Galaxy
နေ
Ranger
သွားပဲဟုတ်တယ်
at your service.
Welcome, both of you. I, Albert,
ဟိုဘက်က3အောင်တင်းပြစ်ထားခဲ့
have been summoned by the Holy Grail to be this show's host today.
Albert, could your class be speaker?
Son of a gun. Ah, that's funny.
Maybe you two can call me presenter instead. That sounds nicer.
Well, presenter doesn't sound half bad. In that case, why don't you present the situation to our audience?
ဟုတ်တယ်
Explain what you meant by summoned by the Holy Grail and why we've arrived at Penacony.
Well, the cosmos is full of surprises. Soon after the ripples of the Charmony Festival had calmed, the Trailblazer received a secret invitation from old Odie, head of the Alfalfa family. It turns out that the old Jen is planning a brand new entertainment spectacle called Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War.
Sweet dreams and
ဆို
the
တော့ MC
Holy
တို့ကဟို
Grail.
ကိုပြန်သွားအောင်ပါပနကုန်းကိုပြန်သွားအောင်ပါပဲ
Sounds like a Holy Grail war is taking place in the Sweet Dream.
That's right. But I have no idea where old Odie got his Holy Grail from. Let me give a brief explanation of everything here. It's said that the Holy Grail is a wish-granting chalice that can manifest any miracle. And the Holy Grail War is a magecraft ritual for obtaining that power. As long as you win in the brutal contest of the Holy Grail War, the Grail can fulfill your wishes.
That daggum Wubba Boot Charmony Festival has only just concluded, and they're putting on a new show already.
Hey, don't forget that Penacony prides itself on being a holiday resort. How are they going to attract tourists if they don't have any events? Besides, didn't the last Charmony Festival have a little accident? I mean, that probably wasn't great for Pennacona's image. The family's definitely gonna want to find another opportunity to generate some buzz.
Well, I heard that old Odie hopes to make the Pennacone and Holy Grail War into a new show that rivals the Charmony Festival, therefore returning Pennacone to the cosmic limelight.
With dreams as the gimmick, the show is sure to attract a lot of money and a lot of dream chasers.
ခဏကိုနေမှာ event တက်လောက်မှာမဟုတ်လို့ MC တို့ကပြန်လာရင်လည်း
is thinking of the same
တိတ်
thing.
ရကောင်နဲ့တွေ့ရဖြစ်မှာ
Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War program will be conducted in Pennacone. The 7 invited participants will summon famous historical figures to fight alongside them as their servants. And the final winner will receive the precious opportunity to make their wish come true.
Chance to make any wish and any miracle come
ဆို
true.
တော့ပန်နာကိုနေမှာပြိုင်ပွဲတစ်ခုရှိမယ်ကွာအဲ့ပြိုင်ပွဲကိုဝင်ပြန်ရမယ်နိုင်သွားတဲ့လူက
As we all
သူ
know,
တို့ဖြစ်ချင်တဲ့ဆန္ဒကို
people
ကပြည့်အောင်လို့တစ်ခုစုတောင်းလို့ရမှာအဲ့လိုပုံစံမျိုးလာမှာ
bullets don't
တူ
discriminate.
လိုင်းရပြော
So someone gets caught in the crossfire.
Rest assured, everyone, the Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War production crew hereby swear that no one's life will be in danger in the dream. Everyone can participate and watch in peace.
All right. Well, since it's you, Owlbird, I'll believe it for now. So, who's participating?
To start off, the owner of the Radiant Feldspar, shareholder of Pennacone Superstar,
Well, that's really good.
so glad for
အဲ့
stepping
လေ
in.
ပန်နာကိုနေဆို
Our
ယူ
dear
ပြီ
Trailblazer will be participating.
Oh, so the Trailblazer will be taking part in another adventure.
That's right. In addition,
MC ပါမယ်
Miss Robin will also be a part of this war.
Well, as another Pennaconian shareholder, the Interastral Peace Corporation's
Di
strategic
piainပွဲမှာပါမယ့်
investment
လူတွေပါ
department sent me as their representative in the war.
The Galaxy Ranger Boothill will also participate in this Holy Grail War.
Actually, I was just wondering, why is a criminal wanted by the IPC participating in this?
Micah got an invitation too, but he has no time for this. I can't turn a blind eye when someone's in a tight spot, so helping out was the least I could do.
Looks like Mr. Boothill really has formed deep bonds with folks in Dreamflux Reef.
Well, apart from those we've mentioned, are there any other special participants that we've been looking forward to in this Holy
အဲ့
Grail
စလို့က
War?
မထည့်နဲ့အဲ့ပဲ
Of
လူတယ်
course.
ဒါမှနှစ်ပေါက်တော့ရိုက်နေရပဲ
Pennaconian heroic spirits. 3 very
Tôi sáng càng ngon là
well-known
phải.
heroic spirits will also arrive by the Grail Summon and participate in this Holy Grail War. They are respectively Saber, Archer, and Lancer.
That's what I'm talking about. I wonder which heroic spirit will end
တော့
up
သူတို့တွေက
accepting a
story line မှာ
contract
ပြိုင်ကြ
with
မှာ
the
ပြိုင်ပြီးတော့
Trailblazer.
နိုင်သွားလို့ရှိရင်ဆူတောင်းတစ်ခုဖြည့်လို့ရတယ်
This is how you attract attention. Now we're gonna get tons of views. That's why you pay big bucks to get the big names. As to what stories will unfold in this Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War, and who will forge a contract with who, Trailblazers will have to find out in the game. Here's a reminder that the Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collaboration Trailblaze Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail will officially start on July 11th. So keep an eye out for
ဒီ
it.
လိုင်းလဲတော့ဘာမှစမရှိဘူး
Now let's
Oh.
learn more about Saber and Archer, our 2 heroic spirits from another world.
Oh, yes!
စေပါ
Saber's dress seems
ဘ
a
ယ်လို
little
လုပ်တော့လဲဆိုတော့
different from usual now that she's arrived
Hold
in
up.
Pennacone.
Well, this is the planet of festivities after all. You gotta dress up for the occasion.
ဟောနောက်က
Exactly
background
right.
ဟိုပါပဲ
The
Fan
King of
Jury
Knight's new outfit was personally designed by Mr.
Jury.
Takashi Takeuchi. It retains their iconic blue and white
MC
colors.
ရဲ့
And her iconic ahoge.
That's
ဘောပင်
right.
ပူဟေ့
It retains the nobility of a king and also emphasizes utility for a warrior. The lines along her shoulders and her cloak are straightforward, while the design of her skirt is quite reminiscent of timeless British fashion. As for how she looks in the game, well,
いつでも出陣できます燃え飛ぶ騎士の魂よはっストライクエア
Well, butter my fudge and call me a biscuit. That Excalibur truly shows her strength as a king.
Oh, talk about fancy
မင်းကလည်းဘယ်
visuals.
လိုလာအောင်လဲမသိ
And
ဘူး
how come the king of knights is always stuffing her face? Even in Penacony.
Oh, looks like Penaconian food is very much to her liking.
That's right. You can't fight on an empty stomach. Now, let's see how the King of Knights performs in battle.
Saber is a wind character following the path
Okay.
of destruction. Saber will gain a certain amount of core resonance when she enters battle. If she uses her technique in the overworld, Saber will obtain combat buffs and also more core resonances after entering battle.
Okay,
When she
premium
uses her
din sami
basic
aha.
attack, she can deal damage to a single enemy.
သူ့
The
ကို
King
ပူရ
of
မှာ
Knights
ပေါ့
is
လမီတက်ဆို
cautious
တော့
as ever in this new world. I see she's still hiding her weapon's appearance and true name.
When she uses her skill, Saber will deal damage to one designated enemy and its adjacent targets.
လမီတက်ဆိုတော့အကုန်လုံးကတော့ limited ပါပဲဒါပေမဲ့ဒါက collect limited ဆိုတော့ပြန်မလာဘူး
She'll
များ
consume core resonance to regenerate massive
collect တွေက
amounts
ပြန်လာ
of
ဘူးထုံးစံ
energy
မရှိ
for
ဘူး
herself and increase her skill's damage.
In other words, you need to accumulate as much core resonance as possible to increase the damage Saber deals.
Exactly.
Are there any other ways to obtain core resonance?
Yes, there are. Whenever any ally uses their ultimate, Saber obtains core resonance and increases her own damage dealt.
Behold, the King of Knights has dispelled invisible air, barrier of the Wind King around her sword, releasing high-pressure air in the blink of an eye to form Strike Air, Hammer of the Wind King, dealing a devastating blow to the enemy. When using her
ဘယ်ကုန်းလို့
ultimate,
လားသူอ่ะ
Saber will deal damage to all enemies and turn her basic attack into enhanced basic attack. Her enhanced basic
Claro,
attack can
yo
damage
te
all
diría.
enemies and provide Saber with a certain amount of core resonance. Also, during battle, if the sum of
မရှိဘဲနဲ့တော့ဆော့လို့ရ
and
တ
the
ယ်ဒါပေမဲ့
energy
ရှိ
she
ရ
can
တာနဲ့
regenerate
မရှိရ
via
တာနဲ့
consuming
တော်
core
တော်ကွာလောက်တယ်
resonance exceeds the amount of
Yeah.
energy she needs to use her ultimate, Saber will immediately take action.
So if you replenish core resonance in as many ways as possible, you can use Excalibur more frequently.
That's right. Not only does this sword bear the King of Knights past, present, and future, but it also represents the noble ideal that was held in the hearts of the countless soldiers who once followed her in battle. All right, that concludes Saber's introduction. Now we'll move on to our next otherworldly heroic spirit,
အချာ
Archer.
Oh, seems like Archer cares about this Holy Grail war very much. He put on a new outfit, too.
He even changed where his accessories go. Those decorations he had on his chest are now on his shoulders.
What sharp eyes you've got,
အ
dear
ချာတော့
guest.
လိုက်ကုန်းဆွဲပြရမယ်အချာတော့လို
Archer's
က်ကုန်း
new
ဆွဲရမယ်
outfit was also personally designed by Mr. Takashi Takeuchi. It has the classic red and black look, the sharp contrasts reminiscent of a blazing fire in the deep night, imbued with a dangerous allure. The combination of the long trench coat with skin-tight combat gear emphasizes his lean figure and is the perfect fusion of attractiveness and strength.
You got that right. Director, show us the game footage already.
ဘေးသောတုတ်ကြီး what the fuck
悪くない代物だ
ဟဲ့ဘေးညာရှိတယ်ဖိုက်တာချင်းရအောင်ဆေးပါပူရတယ်ဟာ
I am the bone of my soul. Unlimited blade works.
So that's unlimited blade works? Oh, quite
Keyboard, yeah,
impressive
yeah.
indeed.
ဘေးက
After
ဘေး
all,
ကရိုက်တာ
Archer
တွေတော့
is
ထုံးစံ
a
နိုင်ပါ
seasoned
ပဲလူ
veteran
ကြိုက်
of
နေ
war.
မင်းကလေးတောင်မှမင်းကလေးကရိုက်တာတွေကြိုက်တာများတယ်
That sentence sure brings back a lot of memories.
I agree.
Well then, let's take a look at Archer's combat performance in detail.
Okay, Archer is a quantum character following the path of the hunt. When he uses his basic attack, Archer can deal damage to one designated enemy.
An archer in close combat. That's pretty gutsy, I'll give him that.
That's right. But Archer hasn't exactly slacked off on his marksmanship training since coming to Penacony. When using his skill, Archer will consume 2 skill points to enter the circuit connection state, dealing damage to one designated enemy. While in the circuit connection state, Archer's turn will not end after he uses his skill, and he can continue to use his skill until he runs out of skill points.
Heads up. The more times you use his skill consecutively, the more damage Archer deals to enemies. Everyone knows that a dual-wielding fighter who can't use their noble phantasm isn't a good archer. When using his ultimate, Archer will recite the classic chant to activate unlimited blade wax, dealing damage to one enemy.
Apart from damaging the enemy, Archer's ultimate also grants him special charge. After any of his teammates' attacks, Archer will consume special charge to use a follow-up attack against the enemy targets, while also recovering 1 skill point for the team.
Oh, in that case, there's no need to worry about running
running
out of skill points again.
He just couldn't help himself and had to use his favorite twin blades.
When he uses his technique to enter battle, Archer will deal damage to all enemies and obtain special charge.
And that's a wrap on Archer's introduction. Now, I have big news for everyone. From when the collab event starts on July 11th and until the end of version 3.6, Trailblazers can log into the game to claim the limited 5-star collab character Archer for free.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome!
We hope that under Archer's
အော် material ပါတစ်ခါပေးမှာ material level 60တိတင်လို့ရအောင် Oh my god
dark clouds and become a saga.
ငါဖတ်တာမှန်တယ်မလား The author materials can be used to upgrade the character to level 60
With the
Acha, the hand quantum and his group material for free.
in the days to come.
အဲ့တော့နင်းလာတယ်
Yeah. How
ဟန်ရော
about
ထုံးစံ
that?
နိုင်မှာ
The free new limited 5-star character mentioned during the anniversary celebration is finally here as promised.
Actually,
material ပေးမှာပေါ့ material တကူက fan ရအောင်မလို့
later
တော့
this year,
နည်းနည်းထပ်ပြည့်အောင် level 80လောက်
another
ဒီဆို
brand new limited 5-star character totally for free.
Oh, awesome!
But let's keep our eyes on the present for now. I'm not quite done yet. Besides claiming Archer for free, Trailblazers can also directly obtain a set amount of character enhancement materials for Archer.
Wow, how thoughtful!
ဒီလည်းမကန်ရအောင်
Well, this version's got a lot of characters to level up after
ဒီ
all.
က
All right, now
ဟန်
let's
တော့
check
ရ
out
လို့
the
ဒီတန်
banner
အဲ့တော့
detail.
အန်ကိန်းကွန်
When
တိုင်
the
မ
collab
ရှိရ
starts
ပေါ့
on July 11th, Trailblazers can use Star Rail
Oh,
special
dear.
passes in the character collaboration warps Excalibur Excelsior and the Bone of My Sword to obtain the limited 5-star characters Saber and Archer respectively. In the Light Cone collaboration warp, Trailblazers can get the
Oh,
limited
dear.
5-star
Banner
Light
နှစ်ခု
Cone,
လာမယ်ကွာ
Thankless Coronation,
အဲ့ဘန်နာနှစ်ခုอ่ะ
and the
ဘာလဲ
limited
ဆိုတော့
5-star Light Cone.
အားချာဘန်နာ
that
ပူ
Hellride
ပြည့်
deals
ပူလို့
burn.
PT လဲစေပါဘန်နာထဲမှာရှိမယ် fight ချမကြသေးဘူးဆိုလို့ရှင်
In addition, pity counts are shared between the character collaboration warp
သင်
banners
ချောင်းတက်လို့ရ
and
လား
also separately
နာ
shared
မရ
between
ဘူး
the Light
သူ
Cone
ကသူ့
collaboration
hyper
warp.
carry ဆော့အောင်မှာ
But neither carries
သင်ချောင်းနဲ့
over
တွဲလို့ရှင်
to
သူ
other
သုံးဖို့စ
genres.
ကေးမှမရှိတော့တော့
Ah, okay.
It's worth mentioning here that the character and Lycone collab banners will stay open long term after the event starts.
ဘယ်လောက်ကြာကြာဒီဘန်နာရှိမလဲမပြောပါဘူး
Even
ကွာ
after versions 3.4 or 3.6 wrap up, you can still pull Saber, Archer, and the limited 5-star Lycones.
Exactly. These collab banners will run across multiple versions with no fixed end date yet.
Oh,
အဲ့တော့ဘာရှင်းများများခံမယ်လို့တော့ပြောသွားတယ် multiple version ဆို
For you all.
အဲ့ဒါ
Throughout
အေးစိမ
the
ပူလို့ရ
entire duration of version 3.4, using Star Rail special passes for your warps will bring some special limited time
Do
discounts.
anywhere even at
After
the
the collab
to the
event starts,
special
when
passes.
Trailblazers spend a designated number of Star Rail special passes,
Damn.
they can directly obtain the limited 5-star
Oh.
light cone, the hell where ideals burn.
throughout all of version 3.4?
Now what even version is shit
In
that
other
accumulate
words,
2 day of
after
the
the
songs for the
3.4
shoot.
update and
They
before
can
the
be
collab
available
event
after and
starts,
third.
any
I'm not-
Star Rail special
not
passes used in the
Oh
beta
my
for
god
fighting
version
or other
3.4 မှာ
hero
ပူး
characters
နေရ
will still
သုံးလို့
count
ရှင်
toward
ဒီ
the
လိုက်ကုန်း
total,
free
right?
ပေးမှာအားချလိုက်ကုန်းပူးရမလို့တော့ Oh my god
Yeah!
And now, as the
Damn,
collab kicks
that's my
off,
mouth, yes.
voice actors for Saber
Version
and
1 နှစ်
Archer
version လောက်တော့ခံ
have
ဖို့
some
များ
things
တယ်
they'd
သူတို့
like
ပြော
to
ပုံ
say
ရ
to
တ
all
ယ်
of us. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to hear their special messages.
これからマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。セーバー役のカスメヤコです。崩壊スターレールとフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催ということで、私もとてもワクワクしています。この2つの作品にはどこか似ているものがあるなと感じました。 剣を手に運命と立ち向かうセイバーの姿は厳しい冒険の中でも前へと進み続ける開拓者の姿と似ているのではないかなと思いました。
ဖတ်တာမှားသွားလားဒါမှမဟုတ်တကယ်ပဲဘာရှင်း3.4မှာပူးနေရသုံးလို့ရှင်
新たな魅力が生まれていくのを
အဲ့
感じ
လိုက်
ま
ကုန်
した。
ပြီမလားအဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့အဲ့ပူးနေရ
多くは話せないのですが、
ကိုလက်ပန်
セイ
နာ
バ
လား
ー
ကိုဘ
が
က်ပ
ス
န်
ター
နာ
レー
လား
ル
ဒါ
の
မှ
世
နှစ်
界
ခု
で
ပါ
どのように信念と理想を
あ
貫いていくのか、ぜひお楽しみください。このコラボがたくさんの皆さんに楽しんでいただけたら嬉しいです。星々と聖杯が交わる旅の中で、あなただけの熱い思いとロマンに出会えますように。それでは最後に、開拓者よ、あなたが私のマスターか。
これからマスターに
ဒီ
な
မှာ
る
ဘိုးကခောက်လိုက်ဘိုးကခောက်လို့မရသေးဘူးအဲ့ဒါသူတို့ပါ
フ
လေ
ェイトステイナイト
こういうランマ
アーチャー
ポステン
を担当しております
いいや
声優の諏訪部純一です
はい
崩壊
ポストさん
スターレールと
はいポステンを
フェイト
ねやろうと
ステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催となります赤い旧兵
အာじゃあジャパ
は
ニーワイから前
あまたの世界を旅してきましたがピノコニで繰り広げられる聖杯戦争は彼にとってこれまでとは全く違うものになるのではないでしょうか、崩壊スターレイルの世界でアーチャーが戦う姿が見られるのが本当に楽しみです。おなじみのキャラクターたちが未知の銀河で自分をどのように再定義していくのか、その行方をぜひお届けてください。試合の際にアーチャーの戦闘シーン見せていただいたんですが、
シェーလုပ်ပေးတာファイナル
ジェットブレードワークス
ဘယ်
の
လို
演
လဲ
出
ဒီ
が
M4BS ရဲ့メインカーライターလို့ဖြစ်နေတော့သူတို့က share လုပ်ပေးတာ
いや気に入りました。素晴らしかったです。今
တက
回
ယ်
の
တမ်းバジェがファイナル
企画
မှာ
の
ကုန်
中
သွား
で
တာ
もアーチャーのかっこよさ存分にお楽しみいただけると思いますので絶対にプレイしてくださいね。
ဒါပေမဲ့လည်းセイバーနဲ့အာချာမဆိုးလာပါဘူး
とんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
Alright! Big thanks to our voice actors for those thoughtful messages. With the Honkai Star Rail and Face Day Night Unlimited Blade Works collab about to launch,
တကယ်ကြရင်ဖိုင်နယ်ရင်ပူမလားလို့
program to
ကိုလည်းလို့ပဲ
sincerely thank all our partners in this
ပြီးဖိုင်
collaboration.
နယ်ရင်တော့ပူ
We would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Kinoko Natsu and Mr. Takashi Takeuchi for their
ဘာမှနောက်နေနေပြန်ဆုတ်လာ
Any Star Rail special passes used in the banners for Finan or other rerun characters will still count toward the total, right?
Yep, that's correct.
မှန်တယ်မှန်တယ်ဘာရှင်း3.4မှာဖိုင်နယ်ပဲပူပူတခြား rerun ကောင်တွေပဲပူပူဘဲကောင်ပဲပူပူတဘာရှင်းလုံးကိုပူ200ပြည့်သွား
In
မယ်
order
ဆို
to
လို့ရှိရင်
showcase the Holy Grail War,
ပူ200ပြည့်သွားမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဟိုကပေးမှာအာချာလိုက်ကုန် free ပေးမှာ
another combat-filled program.
ဟိုတော့ထည့်ပြီလေအာချာ
It was
အာချာ
another
တရွဲလိုက်ကြီး free ရမှာပူ200သုံးတယ်အာပူဘယ်လောက်ရှိ
under
လဲ
the cool
Pú
breeze
chau
of
xe.
Penacony. The Trailblazer,
Pú
met
chau
the
xe.
red-haired lancer
Chau xe rồi chị.
destined to cross that
ငါဒါမှမသိကွာငါ
He set
တခါတပန်နာမှာပီ
forth,
တီမပေး
raising
လိုက်
his spear and
Nó sẽ
uttered
bảo
that
ai.
iconic line.
ဘူးဟိုမှာပေါ့
The goddess of beauty is the most peerless beauty of them all.
Ah, so it's that red-haired lancer.
You got it. After the sweet dreams in the Holy Grail War tournament, the genius Skullum made some modifications to the Holy Grail. Now, the Grail can load the simulated data of past striders through the user's memories. So in Fate Stay Night, Trailblazers will face off against many familiar and old friends in intense one, V1, V1, V1 battles. Each contestant starts with unique skills and a set amount of health. Losing a round means losing health. And when your health hits zero, you're out.
အဲ့ဒါဆိုရင်တော့အာချာအာချာလိုက်ကုန်က free မလို့ရတယ်
opponents.
At the start of the
Who
game,
are the finance
Trailblazers
saver?
get some
Yini
free
à?
pieces,
Đánh hậu đảo
each with
à?
different classes that
ကိုရ
grant
စေပါ
different
မယူ
buffs.
စေပါ
You
မ
can
ယူဘဲ
merge
နဲ့
identical
free
pieces
ရဲ့
to upgrade them. The higher the
free
piece's
ရဲ့
rarity, the
final
stronger
ရဲ့
the
final လိုက်
bond.
ကုန်ရရင်ယူ
Pieces of the same class
အဲ့ဒါ
have
ပို့
bonds
မှပဲ
between
ကျန်
them
တာထပ်စဉ်း
too.
စားတော့မယ်
Collect enough pieces of the same class, and you activate special bond effects that give you a serious boost in battle.
Looks like bonds are super important in this Holy Grail War, huh?
Absolutely. And that's not all. Trailblazers can also acquire noble phantasms during battle for extra help. Plus, during combat, Trailblazers can have the chance to
They
get
moved it.
3 command spells. Using these spells grants additional buffs.
Command spells, huh? Well, I'm curious. What role is the Trailblazer playing this time?
It's player.
This Grail feels kind of off. Forking hell. Could it be corrupted?
You right on the money. Trailblazers can increase the Holy Grail's corruption level to unlock extra buff mechanics. The higher the corruption level, the more points you earn when you win.
အော်ဒါ
Heads
difficulty
up,
နဲ့လား
raising corruption level also powers up your enemies. So watch your step, Trailblazers.
Oh, but don't worry too much. After all, this is a reality show competition, and just for entertainment. The organizers of Fate Stay Night have also prepared a special Protected Mode competition. In Protected Mode, Trailblazers can fight using trial characters, and enemy strength is toned down.
This way, new Trailblazers can jump in and fully enjoy the Holy Grail War experience.
Exactly.
player တစ်တွေလည်းဆော့
Let's
လို့ရအောင်
just
လုပ်ပေးထားတယ်
invite
အခု
everyone
online ဆို
watching to stay the night. Experience some epic battle action.
And score yourself some stellar jades and other awesome rewards.
Now, just a quick reminder, this Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collaboration is split into 2 parts. The Trailblaze Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail, and the event, Fate Stay Night. The Fate Stay Night event will open for play on July 11th. The 2 programs stand on their own, so
ဆို
Trailblazers
တော့ story တစ်ပိုင်းဒီ game ဆိုတာထားတာ
Awesome.
ဆိုတော့နှစ်ပိုင်းလာ
Content.
စိတ်ကိုလာကဒီဘန်
Big
လာ
thanks again to our 2 guests. That wraps up today's Fate Collab Update.
Presenter, your mission is complete.
It's all part of the job. Anything for the Trailblazers. So Trailblazers, my honored masters, let's meet again in version 3.4. See you there.
We hope you'll stay the night.
Bye-bye.
See you next time, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီပုံသဘောကျဖို့ကော sorry ဒီနေ့တော့နားပြန်
Brand
နားပြန်
new
ပြန်နားထောင်
limited
ကြည့်
5-star character.
ဒီ
Totally for
ဒီမှာလူရယ် level 60တိတင်ဖို့မတည်ရယ်ပေးမှာ
free.
ပြန်နားထောင်ကြည့်ရေးကြည့်ရေး
But let's keep our eyes. Excalibur Excelsior and the bone of my sword to obtain the limited 5-star characters Saber and Archer respectively. In the Light Cone Collaboration War, Trailblazers can get the limited 5-star Light Cone, a Thankless Coronation from Birth of a King, and the limited 5-star Light Cone, the Hell Where Ideals Burn from Red Radiance of Fuyuki. In addition, pity counts